So apparently this is turning into the Kirby and Sdotbell show.
Nice one.
I like it.
And the beige sofa.
All right, so you guys can't see it, but there's like an imaginary piss stain right here from my cat. My cat's piss stain is actually right there. You guys can't see it.
He really took it out.
Yeah. But, okay, Johnny Walker. That's what we were just talking about.
Yes.
Johnny Walker was fucking awesome. He 1-9 fucking knockout strike ratio.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Dude, apparently
shakes your hand.
He has a total of he throws a total of 10 strikes a fight before he puts somebody out. On average,
he's very effective with his time. He doesn't get paid by the hour. Take that one for
exactly. You. He gets paid by the strike, and apparently he's exciting as fuck.
He is. I'm very looking forward to his next one. I hope we wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, dude. He tried to do the worm, but that slam, dude. He
did it the last one though.
Yeah, but you know what he's got to do? He's now got to do it very slowly. You know, actually, this makes it even better because now he's gonna be like, and then he just drops down slowly and then does it. It's going to be even funner because now he has to know, I got to be fucking careful if I'm going to fight anytime soon.
You know, like, if he fought in England, the crowd would, like, they would literally be like, oh, and then he would start flopping like that. And
that would actually be pretty epic.
Mate, they were good. I swear to God, they would turn every football song into a Johnny Walker song. He'd be, like, headlining card. Anyway, whatever.
I'm excited. You know who they said he might fight? Alexander Custis.
I think that's too soon for him.
You think so?
But
but in 205, who else is he gonna fight, dude? Because they say Thiago Santos is the next in line.
Good. It should not be Corey Anderson.
Yeah.
25-8 Beastin, or what's his name?
Dude. I don't. Okay.
Put him against the loser of Volkan and Dominic Reyes.
Ooh, that actually, I think.
That's juicy. That's juicy.
So, Dominic Reyes, Volkan Ozdemir are fighting. So another reason why Kirby's here is because he's also the info guy.
I got the info.
And he's also got his computer in front of him. But yes, he has the info. And Volkan Ozdemir and Dominic Reyes are fighting. And Dominic Reyes is another exciting guy. If you saw what he did to OSP, that I fucking
Do you think that should have been a finish or
dude? I thought it was a finish.
It was like a last second.
It was.
Kind of
it was
thing.
weird. You know, refs have a very hard job, and the thing is, because it's left to your discretion, it's kind of fucked
criticism.
Yeah, exactly.
Criticism.
So the thing is, even when you do a good job, like there's always going to be somebody that could fucking criticize you.
Speaking of criticism, leads perfectly into the most exciting fight of the 2FC 3-card Cody Garbrandt and Pedro Munoz. Ben Askren almost got finished within 15 seconds of his debut.
I knew that Ben Askren wasn't going out. He was going to stay.
That's
so
Chewy.
you guys see Chewy. Get out of here, Chewy. Get out of my face.
Go, get out of here.
Yeah. So you guys saw that I know, but from what I've seen of Ben Askren, I knew that he was not going to go down. But Robbie Lawler fucked him up in the first 30 seconds of
What was that? Like
dude,
Saito suplex?
Because the thing is, he actually, it was weird is Robbie went in perfect. Ben went in perfectly. He dipped Robbie's first shot. He got in there. He was holding him. But what happened was Robbie got his arm out when Ben tried to take him down. And that's why he was able to do that fucking, what do they call it? The angle, remember
the angle slam.
The angle slam. That's what it was. It was the exact same thing, but he dropped him on his fucking head.
Oof, God.
Dude, and because you see how big Ben Askren's head is, right?
Yeah.
Like he's got a huge head. He's got a giant jaw. That wobble, you could tell that wobble, but Robbie had his arm trapped. Free range of shots. I thought that Herb was. I thought it wasn't even Herb, but I thought they were going to stop the fight.
I felt like it could have been a stop.
It could. I thought if they had stopped it there, but he was active, even though he was dazed. You could tell he was dazed. He was active and he was moving, and he got half guard. Once he got half guard, the fact that Robbie didn't try to keep him down and then create space is where Robbie fucked up. Because once Ben got the half guard, Robbie should have started to throw a couple more shots and then got him.
He's had a fight. Ben had a fight like that. I'm sure the 1FC YouTube channel.
Shout out to One Championship. I can say that. I will leave that part in.
They've got a really exciting Japanese card coming up.
Yes, I'm very excited for all the future One Championship cards. So as you guys can see, we're roommates because we also both like watching fighting.
Yeah, I'm like everybody's favorite casual fan.
And I'm everybody's favorite actual fighter fan. Is that how that works? I mean, okay, yeah, that works. That works.
Everybody's favorite.
But yeah, okay. back to Ben. Let's go back to Ben.
Ben, he's taken massive shots before.
He took a lot of shots, but he
Whenever
fucking battled back, dude.
Whenever, like, I don't know how you'd game plan for this. You hit him with that massive shot, be it a Kurt Angle slam, fucking knee to the face.
I thought he was out.
They've had the same thing. Someone's taken him down with that massive thing. If Ben's got a hold of you, get him to let go and back him up.
You know what I thought Robbie was going to do when he got the when Ben got the bulldog choke, and actually that's going to be my next 1 minute technique, because to show a proper bulldog choke, and shout out to Chu Jitsu because he's shown this one. I actually didn't know about, like, hadn't seen that choke actively done until I saw Chu Jitsu do it. But I'm going to show that one because it's a legit choke. It's very strong because, again, it's the entire force of somebody's body against your head. So even if you're defending, which is what Robbie. So this is the thing. This is my theory. Actually, let's do this. This is my theory on what happened. This is what I think happened. Once Ben locked in the choke, Robbie actually did go out. So he went out when his hand dropped. But as Herb was checking on him, Ben let up. And so the blood flow came back in. Robbie came to. And then as I think he went out for a split second. And then as Ben lessened up when the hand dropped, Robbie came to. That's when he put the thumb up. And then he was back. But he went out at one point, which is what Herb saw.
Fair play.
And Herb's thinking, I have to stop this fight because he's out. But what I think Ben should have done was to keep the choke on, like, kind of make it a little tighter. When Herb was like, let go, make it a little tighter, make sure he's out again. And then, but again, my thinking is Robbie went out and then came back in that time. So the thing is, it wasn't that he completely went out. He was going out, which is why his hand went down. And then Ben started to let up a little bit, and then Robbie came to. And then right as he let go, he was already back. So he's like, yo, what are you doing? I'm okay, right? But Robbie, again, doesn't realize that happened. Again, if you go out, you don't know that you went out. So of course you're gonna say I was completely fine. And if you know anything about Ben Askren, they talk about one thing. They talk about is his static grip strength, which is one, he wasn't letting that choke go anyway. Robbie would have probably had to slam him again, if anything.
Yeah.
Come under, fucking slam him on his head again to have any chance of getting out of that, because Ben wasn't letting that choke go.
No way, dude.
So my thinking is that he did go out, but he came back kind of right away, or pretty quickly. So that's my thinking. What do you think?
I don't have the same level of knowledge as some of the viewers or you do. What I saw was Ben Askren got him into that position. He had, to me, it looks like a schoolyard bully choke.
It does, right? It's like nookie.
It's like if he wanted to, he would have scratched his head. That would have been well humiliating.
Yeah.
But he had him there. I thought he held on to the choke a bit too long, because I swear Dean said lay off, and he held it for like at least 4 more seconds.
Yeah, but I feel like that's more heat of the moment. That's more.
Oh no, definitely. He had him down. I was relieved that Ben Askren won, because of the amount of shit that he talked. Because I thought this would have been so embarrassing if you got suplexed within 15
Dana,
seconds.
I felt like that first minute, Dana was so happy. He was like, exactly. He was like, you know how we have stickers on WeChat?
Yeah.
There's one that's like, what the fuck, Bison? He's like, yes. Like, just the evil laugh. Dana was just like, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. Which is why he wants to fucking run it back.
Right. And if I'm Ben Askren in that point, I'm like, no, beat you guys.
Which is what he's been saying this whole time. I don't want to fight Robbie again. I do not want to fight Robbie again, which is what Ben has been saying this entire time.
Robbie handled that like a goddamn gentleman.
So I've become an even, like, I wasn't like, I hadn't seen a lot of Robbie Lawler fights. I can admit that, but this made me a huge Robbie Lawler fan. Yo, that's one of the fights I have seen. Fucking war. That made me a huge Robbie Lawler fan, because he went, like, again, his what makes him such a cool and great guy is a cooler head prevailed in a split second. He went from, what the fuck are you doing? It's alright, Dean. no worries. You know, it happens. You're a fucking hell of a ref. He said, he was like, yo, I thought your hand dropped. He's like, yeah, but I didn't see the thumbs up. I'm sorry. Like, you know, Herb, he was even trying to kind of explain himself, what he saw in the heat of the moment. You got to kind of, especially at that big of a stage, like the ref is under pressure too. But Robbie handled it like a true pro, like a true professional. He's a cool guy, but he's also a fucking savage, which is why I love about him. Because you could tell he's a super smart guy, super cerebral. But he's also, when he gets in there, he's ready to fucking kill somebody. He's fucking scary.
Dude, just put him on pay-per-view cards. Like,
dude,
seriously, we don't deserve Robbie
He's
Lawler.
amazing. I understand why they call him Ruthless Robbie Lawler.
He's awesome.
It was amazing.
The next one is, I didn't realize that I didn't realize how good Kamaru Usman
You see? In my other video, I struggle with his name too. So look, if it wasn't just me,
Nigeria.
Kamaru. Or you could say Kamaru or Kamaru.
Usman is the new welterweight champion.
Right? Yes.
He beat Woodley.
Fucking respect. I picked Tyron Woodley to win. I was incorrect.
Was Woodley unfocused?
You know what? They say that that's what it was. I don't think that's what it was. So let me tell you this. When you're a person who likes that type of being busy, being kind of chaotic life, which is the type of person that Tyron seems like, I think that stuff aside, as long as you're training as hard as you can every single time, I think that's what he does. What I think it was is he saw that when he was throwing shots early, that it wasn't having the effect that it usually has on other fighters. Okay. And he got a little discouraged, which means he wanted an even better shot. So he was always waiting for an even better shot to take out Usman completely. And the thing is, you can't do that, especially with somebody who's going to be pushing the pace. And so Chael Sonnen has one phrase that I feel like perfectly epitomizes what Usman did, what Kobe tries to do, what I'm trying to think who else does it. Tony Ferguson does, Max Holloway, which is weaponizing pace. They use pace as a weapon to tear you down, and then everything else becomes that much better because they've worn you out. They're chasing you around the ring the entire time. And so that's exactly what Usman was doing. He was kind of stunting a lot of Tyron's shots. And actually, funny enough, even before the UFC, and I'll post a video, but it did happen before. I was actually working on this because in my sparring. And because we were working on clinch work. And so I was kind of getting in to work on the clinch. But I realized with that, again, it's just tiring out your opponent. Whoever you're going against, if you're clinching them, if you're grappling with them up against the wall, up against the cage, up against the ring or whatever, it's wearing them out. And as you kind of move your way in, you're kind of stunting their shots. They can't throw, especially if it's somebody who's a kickboxer or a heavy puncher or something, or a boxer. They can't. They rely on their power. Their shots are then stunted. There's not much they can do. Right. And then again, they're fighting their way out this whole time. So even if they're in there grappling with you for a minute, that's energy that they've lost. Especially if you're used to being grappling. Don't get me wrong, Tyron's a wrestler, but he's an explosive wrestler, which means he's more boom, take you down, and then then from there I work or. Boom, I'm escaping out. Kamaru is more focused on just grinding you out. Again, he's in there. He's gonna take you down. He's he was an African Khabib kind of deal.
Fucking their manager's the same as well, and the striking difference that Usman has grown exponentially.
Yeah, his striking's got really good actually.
But the significant strikes he's landed compared to the Maia fight, it was. I'm going to say 400. Yeah. This one had 600 fight difference. Dude. He had 600 more strikes than Woodley did. Dude. That's how much he flatlined him. Dude, it was crazy. And again, flatlined him. So imagine one, we understand that Kamaru was obviously a better wrestler than Damian Maia, but I imagine how many times Damian Maia tried to take down Tyron Woodley, right? In his fight. 20 plus times. It was like a record that he had set. But the thing was, what Kamaru did better was that he set it up with strikes. So the thing is, again, because he was in his face, because he was pushing the pace, instead of kind of waiting and shooting, but sending up with the strikes, blunting shots, kind of chasing him down, walking him down, that wore Tyron out. And then another thing that I realized from this is, one, being good off your back paws, no homo,
as a fighter is very, very important. And Tyron got his black belt in his last fight. But you see, even black belts, some black belts off their back aren't, and obviously punches being involved are going to change things. And so coming from, this is one thing I'm always working on, is getting better, from the close guard or from the half guard. I'm actually a half guard player, so for me, I love playing in the half guard. So even if somebody's trying to punch me in the face from half guard, I would actually be okay in that position. But close guard, my close guard sucks. Plain and simple. I'm a purple belt with a sucky close guard. Everything else, pretty solid. Close guard sucks. But I understand, like, on the bottom, in a fight, you don't know how to handle yourself. You look like you're a white belt, especially when you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And that's what Tyron looked like. He looked like a white belt getting kind of just dealt with, And it's like, that one is a testament to how good Kamaru's wrestling, his top game is, but it's also a testament to how much guys who are good off their backs in the ring or in the cage are very rare and very scary. So guys like Brian Ortega, Kron Gracie, who is now here with us. Praise be to the MMA gods.
That was lovely to watch, wasn't it?
Damian Maya. Jacare is obviously good just everywhere, but he's good off his back too. But again, these guys that are really good off their back in the cage are, one, they are very much a commodity, but two, like, it shows you how dangerous they really are. Because then, again, you can have a black belt and still get mauled and your ass whooped because some guy has really good top game pressure. Which is kind of, it's kind of fucking crazy, but it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Congrats to him.
Yes,
and
shout out to Kamaru.
Main event time.
Yo.
Biggest underdog in the UFC history.
Yo, dude, that's one of it. Oh, so this is my thing. All right.
I really want
Anthony Lionheart Smith versus John Jones. So we already understand, shout out to the picograms, we already understand the controversy that always surrounds John Jones.
Yeah.
So we always now we're just like, fuck it, ignore all that shit. We get it, it's gonna happen. Because it's either he's a cheater, he's a really good cheater that can still continue to cheat.
He's not a really good cheater, he's a terrible cheater.
He's a really bad cheater. Or, which is, that it's just, really is like a pulsing effect. But I feel like anything after this, I feel like it's gonna be kind of shady. Because they don't really know. I don't think there's anything that could be in your system that's drug related, that's a slow metabolite that's good should still be in your body. I don't think so.
I mean,
and again, it only shows up during the weight cut. Think about that.
Ooh.
It only shows up during the weight cut. Every single time. That's just my theory. All right, I'm not going to say anything else about that. Let's talk about the fight. That's the important part.
I felt like Anthony Smith didn't put himself in a position to fight how he did in his previous 3 fights.
You are absolutely, that is spot on, dude.
I only really saw highlights. I felt like what he said he was going to do was that he was going to get right in Jones's face and just throw punches all night long. Of course, John Jones is never going to let him do this because his grappling is just otherworldly.
And don't get me wrong, let me cut in here because Anthony Smith talks about his grappling. Like, actually, he was kind of looking for the grappling stage. So one thing I thought is he would have kind of initiated it on his end because he's good on the ground too.
I've heard black belt, right?
I don't know what his belt is, but I know he's good. Don't get me wrong. John Jones. The thing about John Jones is, like, John Jones could probably be a blue belt or a purple belt or whatever he is in terms of his. But the thing is, he's a freak athlete. He's super fucking strong, and he's got super long limbs, which is again makes him essentially he's a black belt in genetics. That's what John Jones is. Basically. And so the thing is like, even if skill wise, Anthony Smith may have other aspects of it. John Jones
tattoos. He's got good tattoos.
He's got really fucking good tattoos.
And he looks nice with glasses. So black belt glasses. Yeah,
but,
I did as well.
All that aside, he got his ass whooped. But the thing is, what I saw of John Jones, and let me say this, I saw this of John Jones is that, and this somebody said, who said this? I can't remember who said it. He fights to the level. Oh. Dana White said it. He fights to the level of his opponents. And the thing is, because Anthony Smith wasn't pulling the trigger, John Jones wasn't pulling the trigger. And so what he did was he just did his thing for whatever he needed to do to win it, as opposed to fighting his fight, which would be a complete disassembling of Anthony Lionheart Smith, which is what I think John Jones could have done to him. But it looked like John Jones won every round of that fight. He won every exchange. He won the grappling. He won the clinch work. He won the fucking stand up, right? But it didn't look good. It was very kind of slight. He could have finished him. Again, there was the controversial knee situation. That aside, with Nevada, they need to just catch up with the other rules, which is that once 2 hands are down, you have a down opponent instead of 1 hand. So they haven't adopted the new rules, which is why that can be confusing. It's kind of fucked up situation. But John should be clear on that. Obviously, he should have known. He should have been clear on it. He should have been paying attention, seeing where the hand was. Before he threw that knee, he could have threw an uppercut. There's a lot of other things he could have thrown that in that situation.
An uppercut in that situation would have been nasty.
Exactly. Good thing Anthony Lionheart Smith really is a Lionheart person who has a guy of character. He didn't want to just say, all right, can't continue. And he just went, he fought through it. And you could tell that knee fucking landed flush. It hit him pretty hard. He was a little fucked up. Herb did a good thing by the 2 points. I feel like it shouldn't be up to the fighter. Like if the doctor checks and says he can continue or not continue, then that's the situation. But they said, they asked him, can you continue? He could have been like dazed and still said, yes, I can continue. And they got knocked down in the next 30 seconds. And then like, what the fuck are you doing as doctors and officials? So it could have been, it was a rough situation.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be up to the fighter, but because Anthony Smith is, again, I'll say this, he's a real dude, he kept going. And even John was a little worried. Shout out to Matt Hamill, who has the only win over John Jones. Again, because he got his ass beat by John Jones. John Jones should really be 24-0-1. 24
striking his elbow and his forehead
with no But the thing is, the 12-6. There's no real reasoning why the 12-6 elbow is fucking illegal. Because if you can do an elbow this way, you should be able to do an elbow this way. What's the difference?
There was amazing Joe Rogan, and
he talks about it all the time. The only reason is they saw someone break bricks or some stupid shit like that. And that's why it's illegal. And the reason behind it is very, I feel like at the very least that Matt Hamill thing should be a no contest.
No contest.
Why the fuck was it a disqualification? Like, what?
No contest.
That's not...
Overturn that shit. Speaking of good shit, we weren't, but here we go anyway.
I'm getting another drink. Thank you guys again for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe. If you want to see more of my videos, you can check me out on social media at Sdotbell on Instagram, Sdotbell MMA on Twitter, Facebook.com/Sdotbell MMA. Thank you guys again. Peace.